So today we're gonna watch Elliot. He looks like a snake in this video right now in this thumbnail. We're gonna see what he says and the contradiction he says, because I see a lot of lies in this video, even though he tries not to lie. And I'm in this field for 5 years, so I've seen people like this basically lie and scam money out of you. So I'm gonna go through this, and because a lot of people, they are in this field for less than a year, they see crypto on YouTube, they see a lot of cloud, and the first thing they see is maybe scammers like BitBoy or Alex Becker, or the worst of them all, Elliot Trades. We go through this video because he has a new NFT which he wants to scam people out of, and we can go bit by bit, and I can explain what's wrong with this person. So let's go.
Today is a very exciting day for me as I get to reveal to you something that has been a passion, maybe an obsession of mine for years now. Since 2018, I've been working towards unveiling a video game that I believe is worthy of the crypto ecosystem and has the potential to appeal to mainstream users simply for the gameplay itself. Today, I introduce
So if you have a gameplay, you actually don't even need to integrate it with crypto. There's a narrative going on that crypto will be the biggest, crypto gaming will be the biggest. However, the only narratives I've heard about is these influencers who actually want to sell you their stuff. And it doesn't necessarily make true that this is going to be big. However, if you believe them, then of course you will see what happens. These people have millions of views, so there's a social proof going on. Of course, I don't have that much clout, so a lot of people will think, oh, I only have X amount of subscribers. Who am I? But who are these people? Well, let's gonna find out.
Imposters.
Let's watch the trailer. Or this isn't even a trailer, it's a teaser.
So at
Alright,
this
let's
point, you're
pause
probably
this. It
wondering,
looks like this game has been based on Among Us with a little bit of an NFT complex in it. And I'm not sure what the additional value of it is, and I'm not even sure if the gameplay is out. I just see this teaser, and if I look at it, it's not much.
Imposters. And that is certainly a common question out there. So today we're going to go through everything, what this game is, what the stage of development it's at, what people can look and touch and feel right now, and of course, what people will have the chance to mint in a few weeks from now. The point of this video is to encapsulate everything about the project, to explain the launch strategy, to go through the story of how we got here, and even address some of the FUD out there head on so that you guys can understand completely what the project has been thinking with the launch strategy. I know you guys are going to enjoy this, and it's going to culminate with an amazing community discussion on my Twitter later today, and actually many discussions with the community over the coming weeks. This project means a whole lot to me, and it is my distinct pleasure to dive headfirst into Imposters, a project I have co-founded, co-created, and worked on a whole lot over the last few years. So Imposters is a play
Very funny
and
that he's
earn
already
social game.
attacking the FUD beforehand. I do think it's getting better at scamming people. Very funny he has a Nintendo 64 as a t-shirt. I mean, like, if he's going to be as conservative as that, then why do we even need his game, which is based on Among Us, which is already out there, which is free, which doesn't need crypto. But I will talk about his shit as well. Of course, he's going to attack us with FUD, this and that, but we're going to see.
metaverse, the reason why we call it play and earn is because it's not just playing to earn. The point of Imposters, the reason why we started making this project was because early in 2020, we saw the virality of the game Among Us. Now, Among Us is a 2D game. It's fairly low fidelity. It's fairly limited in what you can do. And yet, it's home to almost 500 million players globally. And honestly,
this is super fun. Why do we need
experience.
imposters?
After building an arena battler, which is pictured right here, you can see that we had abilities, PvP, there was team-based, ability-based battles going on here. I actually did all of the animations for this game. I used the particles that we found on the marketplace, integrated them into ability sets, created the map, everything. I put so many hours into this game that you're seeing right here. And yet, in the end, despite us feeling like we had a really cool aesthetic, maybe debatably a bit too furry-esque, the reality is that we realized that this game was just simply not going to compete with the big boys out there, the Overwatch, the Smite, the type of PvP team-based arena battlers out there. And in our opinion, for a crypto game to truly work, it needs to be better than what's out there. Thus, the Imposters project was born in early 2020.
The game he is talking about is Pizza Heroes, which was in his first failed project, Tronchat, which is kind of funny what he says. He just collects some stuff and he makes a game out of it. His buddy Alex even warned us against people like this. I'm not sure why Alex is now friends with this guy, which is like a serial scammer. Then again, you attract what you are, right? And it's so amazing that he doesn't even give refund to his people. He's like, oh, well, we tried it out. He made it himself, he says. I think he got for this game an investment of like 200 million. So I can make that myself for 2,000. It's kind of funny how he gets 200 million and he can't even deliver, nor does he have the audacity to refund his people.
Of a simpler, more effective, more likely to be a mainstream hit game. Games don't have to be overly complex to be fun, and Imposters and Among Us are extremely good examples of how fun can be deceptively simple sometimes. So why is this a good game for crypto? Well, in my
So he says that he is doing Imposters at 2020. I'm pretty sure Pizza Heroes didn't even came out of 2020. It's still in the beta, open beta. And basically, he is rebranding his failed projects like he did with Tronchat, like he did with all his previous stuff. So I'm not sure why he is lying, why he's not just saying that. Of course, he's not going to say the truth. Why he doesn't say that. You know, Pizza Heroes, it didn't work. Now we have Imposters with the same amount of money. However, he's going to ask you some more money as well. So it's not even that he has the audacity like, okay, I got $200 million. I'm already rich. I just want more money. And I can basically dump it on my fan base, which basically believes everything what I say because I have clout. And my butt buddy, Alex Becker, he will probably support me as well. Alex Becker, he had 200K subscription. And then he found out that the crypto niche has actually a huge demand, and now he's about, by the point of this video, over 1 million. And now he also find other people who have a lot of clout, like Journey. I cannot trust these people. These people are creating the narratives. These people are actually stealing your hard-earned money. And Elliot, he just rebrands Pizza Heroes to Imposters, which is very annoying and very frustrating to me. But let's continue.
A lot of what people want to accomplish in the metaverse is social. People want to have interactions and social experiences with others. They also want to play games and compete. However, it does feel as though there's a bridge missing between the competitive gaming landscape and the sort of social VR metaverse of the future. There needs to be some kind of socially fluid interactions in the metaverse so it's just not so awkward, so it's more exciting, easier to get in and enjoy. And that's where we believe that social games have a real opportunity here to bring people into the metaverse in a more approachable way. That's why we believe social gaming is a real major key for the next phase of adoption for the metaverse in general. Key features of Imposters is that this is play and earn, meaning that you can just come in and play and earn while
Look, the metaverse is just a narrative. I mean, social games are already there since 2000. We already have Second Life. We already have RuneScape. We already have World of Warcraft. We don't need this stuff, especially from a project that hasn't even been launched and which are just in the phase of ideas. This is just play to earn, whatever metaverse. You can just pick up some keywords and just make a video out of it and a teaser. You cannot underpromise and that you cannot overpromise and underdeliver. And even now he tweets that there's a delay. There's always an excuse with this guy. He has a lot of excuses. His Telegram is full of excuses. And I cannot trust this person.
Enjoy the game. The point is to play, though, not just to earn. That's why we say play and earn, not play to earn. It's also community owned and governed by token holders, as well as being a social metaverse with expandable economies beyond the core game mode. The core game mode is like the hook. It's what brings you in. And there is a metaverse being built around that core game mode that allows for more interesting economics to happen. So what exactly is the Genesis season? What is the Genesis roadmap? Well, that's a huge question, and one that I think brings a
again some keywords which doesn't make sense. Playing earns. Let's hope this game is at least able to play for free. After that, you can decide if you want to buy the NFT or not.
Of light to what the heck we are thinking with the way that we were pricing this initial drop. Well, the reality is that you're not just minting a character when you mint the Genesis drop. You're minting a Genesis Season Pass. Now, the Genesis Season Pass effectively enables you to participate in each and every event within the Genesis season. That starts with Week 2, Week 4, Week 6, Week 8, Week 10, every 2 weeks there is an event, and a countdown will begin as soon as that event ends for the next event. Now, of course, we've redacted these because we want it to be fun, we want it to be a journey of discovery and more mysterious for the participants within the Genesis season. Of course, this has led to some people really not understanding what this is at all. So let's try to find some middle ground here, because I really do want you guys to know how much thought has gone in to this Genesis season. See, the Impostors core game mode of social deduction, which we've been talking about, the crypto NFT Among Us, is how I've described this game for about 2 years now. Well, that game mode doesn't have a ton.
It doesn't look like a lot of thought has been gone into it, especially now there's a delay again with a lot of excuses. Like has been done before. It just doesn't look like there has been a lot of thought gone into it. I mean, there's always a delay, and this is like, I think, a kindergarten picture. Or like, what is this? Like, you cannot tell me that there's a lot of thought gone into it, and then you also delay with an excuse that doesn't even make sense. Let's continue.
Economics in it. But after the GameFi revolution that we saw Axie Infinity bring to the market, it's clear that GameFi mechanics are really exciting.
I mean, it's indeed a crypto Among Us.
So having a PvP mode, having a PvE mode, as well as having land are things that we feel would really round out the Impostors economy, even if they're not core to that social deduction game mode. It's actually even better in a way to separate these so that the mainstream audiences who may just want to come in, play their Among Us style gameplay and leave, maybe they don't care about NFTs, maybe they don't care about the land-based metaverse. Well, they don't actually have to worry about that or interact with that, at least not for a very long time. The game will always be free to play and free to enjoy. However, if you do own certain NFTs, you can participate in the larger economics of the Impostors metaverse. So effectively, this Genesis season gives you little seeds that are being planted around the entire game economy. So without revealing too much, I just want you to understand there's a PvP mode, there's a PvE mode, both of which are planned. They are not built yet, but by owning this Genesis season pass, you'll be able to own the NFTs that are core to those game modes. And of course, we have the closed beta access pass, as well as, you guessed it, an extremely sus week, the Genesis season culmination, not holding a full set, ultra sus. So as you can see here, there's a lot of game theory going on. You guys know how Neo Tokyo went and the game theory that effectively challenged people to stick to the program and rewarded them for doing so. That is a lot of what's going to be happening here, mixed with the actual gaming experience. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of thought that has gone into the Genesis season. And so I want to make sure that people understand this isn't just a PFP. This isn't just a JPEG. This is an access token to an entire season of events. Now, once we refine the core gameplay loop with these Genesis minters, we're also going to plan some very cheap items for the future. Those very cheap items will also allow a very different quality.
By the time I'm making this video, Neo Tokyo has gone downhill, so that argument doesn't even make sense what he says. And he also says that this is planned. Tron Chat did the same with Pizza Heroes, which he was the co-founder of, as Superfarm is doing with this imposter stuff. It's the same thing again, now with a different type of people. You guys are mostly new. I followed this guy for a while, and this guy is a snake and a liar.
A very different type of access to the...
Also, you don't need an NFT to have an access pass. You can have a €10 discount, $10. You don't need an NFT for an access pass. There are so many other ways to do it. Just because there's a narrative going on, people say NFTs will be the future and it will be valuable and all that stuff. This guy, he is just following the trends and hopping along, which I cannot even blame him. However, the lies and deceiveness, it is something that people should be protected to. It's so sad that the SEC is not getting his ass into court. It's so sad that the SEC is not getting Elio into court. This guy should be in jail.
Earn economy, but access nonetheless. And as we refine the gameplay loop with the closed beta community, making memories, having fun, and perfecting the game loop so that it really holds users and has them craving for their next game, that's when we'll open up to a full beta launch. That's when we'll trigger full marketing with streamers and stuff like that. But the point is, you don't want to dump a few million people into a game unless you're very confident that a high number of them will remain and play long term. Again, a multiplayer game like this is judged by the amount of concurrent players it has. That is the goal, is to have the maximum amount of people playing at the same time. So you really want to make sure you hold people once you have them in the game. We also have planned for the future a map maker allowing for users to create their own maps within the game, as well as a game mode maker, which will allow for people to contribute their own game modes with code and script. While we don't have a date estimation on these particular expansions, I believe that expanding core addictive gameplay loops with the community, allowing them to create user-generated content and even monetize that content via NFT is really, really exciting to me and the team. And so these are things that we feel will be core elements of any successful metaverse gaming ecosystem, user-generated content. So who's the team behind Impostors? Well, you know me. As well, our chief architect at Superfarm is Tim Clancy. Tim oversees the blockchain team, which is actually really, really big at this point, as the blockchain team is working on
He's already saying that this project might fail. It's kind of a disclaimer. I can't blame him. The best thing I can advise people, and yes, this might be seen as a financial advice, but I have to put a disclaimer that this is not a financial advice. Play the game, see how it is. And I can assure you that it's not worth the NFT. It's not worth the price. It's not worth the gameplay. And I'm not even sure if the game will come out. There will probably be another excuses. Like now there's a delay excuse. There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse, and it's never his fault since Tron Chat. And he's been doing this for 5 years already.
Place as well as the video game. So I bet you're wondering, who are our video game staff? Well, let's start with our game director, Marty Kaplan, who is actually
kind of sad that they still don't dox these people. Like there's 30 more talented staff, and we don't see the pictures of Marty and Tim Clancy. Like, what is this?
Game director at Amber Studio. Amber Studio is a studio we started working with to help source more talent faster. Now, I will be getting to this FUD thread that came out yesterday and addressing literally every point within it. Now, I want to be clear. While we are leveraging external game studios to help source talent faster, this is not an external project. I wake up each and every day at 8 a.m. to micromanage the deliveries and schedules from each and every developer within our organization through department heads, and very much so, a game is not something like a microwavable pizza you can just put in and get a game out at the end. If you want something with personality, with heart, with soul, you need to be touching it yourself and putting love into it. There's just no substitute for that attention. So while Amber does have offices all around the world, they are really experts at sourcing talent and helping staff up game studios, and Marty has helped play orchestrator for these developers. So yes, we are leveraging external game studios. No, this is not a set it and forget it, send it offshore, pay some de minimis amount of money, and get back some kind of templated game. That's not what this is. This has been a daily grind with a ton of talented developers around the world, and the team keeps expanding each and every month. Team members have worked on projects like Roblox, Far Cry, Trover Saves the Universe, Gears of War, Bard's Tale, Squad, Amazon Engine, and Pixar. Now, for those wondering how to play Imposters, it's effectively a murder mystery themed whodunit where you're either the murderer, the imposter, or you're one of the innocents. And it's effectively a race for the innocents to complete all their tasks before the imposter kills everybody.
So many lies that he's saying. He's doing exactly what he is saying that he is not to do. As someone who has worked in IT, the last thing I want is someone who is micromanaging me. So I can already see that this project is going to fail. Of course, this is previous hand, but just having the reputation of being someone of a co-founder of many failed projects, there's no way that people will be in long term here. IT people, they want to have freedom. They don't want someone to micromanage them. And game studios, they are always delaying as well. Game studios are even delaying AAA games. So I'm not sure how this game even looks like a AAA game, which is basically just a stolen idea from Among Us anyway. And I don't really care if these people have worked on previous games before, because it doesn't make sense that they are now working in a different field, which is like with the keywords, metaverse, NFT, whatever. Let's continue.
Or for the innocents to vote out the imposters. So there's two ways the innocents can win, either by completing their tasks or by voting out the imposter. And the imposter's goal is to kill everybody before they get found out. In this way, it's a very social game. It's not about how fast your twitch reflexes are. It's about your personality, your powers of persuasion. It's highly social, and that's what makes it so fun, is you're forced to be deceptive, lie to people. And it took off especially in the Twitch crowd, because watching Mr. Beast lie to PewDiePie, lie to KSI, it was all very fun to watch. And that's why content creators and audiences around the world fell so deeply in love with this game. Of course, there's a Discord link down here. I highly encourage you to join this Discord. Now, I want to be very clear. Before the drop happens, we will be releasing gameplay footage. People will be able to see the game. So there will be no vague mystery as to what the gameplay looks like. The teaser was shot in the arcade scene within the game. That's actually within the game, with in-game assets.
I can't say anything bad about this. This is something which I can agree on. It might sound very fun. However, you can still play Among Us. You don't need to play Imposters.
There's a part of Unreal Engine called Sequencer where you can shoot these cinematic animated pieces, and that's how we leveraged our in-game assets to create that teaser that you saw. Now, in the process of staffing up over the last few months, we were able to achieve a much higher budget look and feel with our characters by bringing on some real heavy hitters. In fact, the person who designed our main character was previously working at Pixar. We really wanted that cuteness, that Disney cuteness to the characters. We think it really adds that layer of excitement. But yesterday, after announcing the teaser, we got hit with a mega FUD bomb. So I want to take this whole thread and address each and every point of it so people can understand what's going on with the project. Because while I believe KSMO has really good intentions here, I just want to correct some of the misunderstandings.
We don't care if someone works at Pixar, because this person could have had a trial period at Pixar and he could have been kicked out, or he could have been fired because he had a bad reputation or he did his work bad. Why would you leave Pixar for someone like this person? Unless you get equity and you think you get a lot more money. I understand that. As Alex Becker has said, it doesn't matter if you have a footage of a gameplay. It's so easy to get footage of a gameplay if you are in the business. I can make this gameplay myself, and I don't even need 200 million for that. I don't need to have a whole investment of super farm of that to offshore it to someone and to keep the rest of the money.
So let's just get right into this. KSMO says, let
so
me
now
get
we
this
get
straight.
FUD, and you make your own decision with this.
Trade Its new project Play Impostors is minting for 2 ETH for the whitelist, and their public Dutch auction starts at 3 ETH, which will net him over $60 million. Now, to be clear, I'm not netting anything. This is going to the development company I'm an employee of. The overall burn for the development company between marketplace and games is about $500,000 a month right now, and the games alone constitute about $300,000 of that. And as we get through this drop, the intention is to expand those numbers slightly to be between $500,000 and $1 million per month. So keep that in mind as we go through this drop and really pull apart the economics. Now, KSMO here includes the fact that we are taking in the whitelist, which we anticipate to be anywhere from 40 or 50 up to 70% of the total supply of items. We're taking these in super. Now, of course, this game is part of the Super Farm ecosystem, and the goal here was to double down
Let's
on our
talk about
commitment
economics. If you are part of an employee of a company where you're co-founder of, you can basically get most of the money. You can even lie to people that you don't get money. And this can be a truth as well. You can say you get $1 salary, and the rest of the times you can get dividends, you can get money from stakes. And if you're the largest stakeholder, then let's say, what is 51% over 60 million? That's more money than you will ever earn in your life.
the Super Farm ecosystem. In fact, it says very clearly on the website that the intention of the super raised is to vault it, to stake it, and to never touch it. It's effectively a creative buyback of super to show our confidence and our love for the community. And then the plan is to just vault that. I mean, it'll be obvious where the address is, so everyone will know if we ever touch those tokens. It's right there on the chain. We have nothing to hide. And in fact, if you look at the chain on CoinGecko, you'll see that all of the coins in the development bucket are completely untouched. 0% of the coins that the project can unlock have been unlocked, even though 50% of them, 50 million super, have been unlocked and are technically free game for the project to touch. This is because the project has a firm commitment to its community and wants projects in the market doing their thing, growing the excitement of the community, and through pushing products out, through building real revenue through real products, the project does not need to touch its tokens like so many other ecosystems do. Now, I want to talk about the other point, which is the Dutch auction. Yes, it will start at 3 ETH, but it actually has no floor. The Dutch auction was actually having a resting price of 0, which means that if people don't buy this, it'll literally go to 0. So the potential is if people don't like the price of the whitelist, no one's forcing them to buy.
Of course he's going to say that because most of you guys are too lazy to look into it. If you look at the chain and the super farm, you see super farm is not doing good at all. And in the past, there was someone who took a lot of money out, and the only one who could have done this is Elio itself. There are so many red flags in this project that you cannot just look into it and start digging. You can dig a lot on the chain. Everything is on the chain, as he said, so you can do your own research. Most of you guys, you are so lazy, you won't do your research. You will just believe this guy on face value. You will say, this guy has a lot of views. Why would he do that? Why would he dump on his followers? Because they can.
If you don't like the price of the Dutch auction, it'll go to 0. There is a potential for no money to come in through this sale. Nothing is being forced here. We actually felt like this shows our confidence in the product and the ecosystem we've created by introducing this 3 ETH with no resting price. However, hey, look, we're here to have the conversations around price with you. We just want people to understand what we've built, where we're at, compared to all the other NFT projects in the ecosystem, and what comes next. So we've already talked about this, but no, this is not an external project. Every day I wake up, I've had to micromanage the development process, the teaser, right down to redoing some of the audio effects myself because I wasn't happy enough with the audio editor. I have my personal fingerprints on every single part of this game. Yes, we're using a studio like Amber to help.
So basically, this is one of those many disclaimers where do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. What happens is this guy tells his people, his followers, to have fun and stay poor when something goes good. And when something goes back, it's always your own research. Do your own research. It's not a responsibility. You made your own choice. It's your freedom. Yada, yada, yada. Kind of mean. Kind of a liar.
Tons more staff faster. And anyone
Let's
building
continue
games
with
out
the
there
rest
will
of the
tell you
video.
that staffing up is extremely competitive in 2022, given all of the excitement around crypto gaming. So again, he's saying we're selling NFTs for $60 million. Again, let's unwind that again. We were looking at 50 to 70% of the sale coming in super that was never going to be touched. So over $40 million of super that would just be vaulted as what we considered extreme vote of confidence in the community. And then what was left over would be somewhere between 20 and 30 million. It's hard to say because this is just vague guesstimation based on where the Dutch auction ends. But the reality is
it is competitive because you
about
don't
what
pay them
Azuki
well and you
raised.
micromanage everyone and you actually keep most of the money yourself. The money of Super Farm also never went to anyone else than you, Elio. So stop lying.
And Azuki was just a profile pic project, just a JPEG, had not built a game, did not have a massive staff cranking out game assets, gameplay, and code each and every day. We feel that the net of having the
Never
same
going
amount
to
of
be
ease
touched,
as a
Elio?
project like Azuki is more than fair. But again, we're here to have the conversation with you, and that's what we're going to be doing on Twitter Spaces later today. So now he's saying that I'm being misleading by saying that Impostors is my studio. Yes, it is my studio. It is owned by my studio. We have internal people, internal game devs, a ton of blockchain staff, internal. We have 2 external studios that we use as well to get more access to AAA talent. And that's the path we had to find the most talent. So we pursued that path. But it doesn't mean that we're not involved with this game or that we're just shipping it overseas. And I've never said it cost me $60 million to ship.
This is basically a
what you're
version of whataboutism. People do this, so why am I not allowed to that? It's so sad that these people can sleep doing this. I lie to people and steal their money because if I don't do it, someone else will do it. That's basically the rationalization what these people do.
to see. However, I want you to have an understanding of what the real costs are behind the game development today, where we're headed, and what the money goes to, because it's not going to me. He's saying, do you think all 30 world-class engineers at that studio worked on this game for years? Zero chance. No, I'm telling you that we have 30 world-class engineers now, that we started with a small team.
Didn't he say that he would keep 30 million of his own studio?
That we've grinded it out on this game for years, and that it's evolved into this amazing studio where we now have world-class talent cranking out and focusing on a simple, fun gameplay loop that has the opportunity to onboard mainstream users. So this is a bit of parsing my words apart to create a gotcha. But again,
Liar.
to me, there's nothing misleading about what we've said. We're articulating what the team is. We're articulating what the story of the project is. And we're setting prices that we believe are accurate to the demand for these assets. Now, I want to be clear. He's saying that the beta isn't even out till phase 2. That's not true. We have beta access pass literally in phase 1. I think he's just misread. Open beta is a term more commonly associated with launch. If you guys remember, early Fortnite days was in early access for years before they actually took that away. That was their way of saying beta. So Fortnite was in open beta for literally like 4 years when it was making billions of dollars. So open beta
I don't believe
is really
you, Elio.
a term for like a launch. So he's saying now that I made this sound like a passionate in-house project when I simply hired an external agency to make a quick, small game using my own influence to build the hype, $60 million. Again, it is a passionate in-house project. I've personally coded some of the game. I literally have daily meetings micromanaging everybody, everything from the actual in-game experience to the code to the teaser, everything.
What does Fortnite has to do with this scam game that you're creating, Elio?
I have my fingerprints on everything. Why do you think you haven't seen videos from me over the last month? I've just been cranking. And again, $60 million, not accurate. Over 40 million of that was going to be vaulted super. So now he makes the claim that there's only one developer working at Super Farm, and the whole thing is just a massive ruse. I don't know where he gets this conclusion, except for the fact that he just literally doesn't have the data. So this is just blatantly false. I get that he's trying to do the good thing, the right thing, by trying to call out what he sees as an injustice, but this is literally patently false. The actual burn for the company and the amount of employees...
The rest goes to yourself. You're coding some stupid teasers, coding very simple gameplay. As Alex Becker said, you don't even need to do a lot of work to get a gameplay footage, and you make 20 million out of it. It's so sad that the SEC is still allowing this. No wonder crypto is getting sadder with the day, and no wonder people like this should go in jail.
Is dramatic and expanding very, very rapidly. And we're going to bring more and more team members on over time so you can meet them. But the reality is that this is just so far off base. I get that he thinks this might be the case.
I have the data. Tron chat, multiple failures, Pizza Heroes that doesn't work. What else do we need, Elio?
To present it as fact when it's really just a vague opinion or suspicion, to me, I think it's pushing it too far. And so he says in the end, it's a blatant cash grab from a person who states that, quote, blockchain games are the future, yet hires an external agency to create a game instead of forming an actual team to create the very future he shills. Nope, the team is formed of studios, internal, external, and everybody's working together. This is a decentralized world. Teams are scattered. All the best talent is all over the world. It's not just a simple, we have an office down the block and everybody shows up at 11 a.m.
And I still don't believe you, Elio.
No, we've sourced talent from across the world since day one because that's how you build decentralized teams in crypto in 2022. And finally, we get to the real payoff here, which is that Raid Party and Pixelmon sucked. They were from Anon teams, way overpriced, and they had no real path to a game. That is where we are essentially being painted with the same brush as Raid Party and Pixelmon. Now, I want to be very clear. I totally get people being upset about Raid Party and Pixelmon. I would be too. But it's not fair just because those projects sucked to assume that everything in our project is a ruse, a sham, and effectively a lie. Quite frankly, he's calling me an outright liar and
Sounds like Pizza Heroes.
a scammer in this thread. Respectfully, I get that he's trying to do a good thing, but it's just not true, and it's not fair to put us in the same bucket just because they sucked. And finally, he says, can you profit? Maybe, but then he attacks me personally because I believed you could get a 3 to 5x in Q4. I'm sure I was the only one saying that a 3 to 5x is possible.
Not just he. I call you a liar as well.
I mean, people were talking about $300,000 Bitcoin in Q4, so I don't think that that's the craziest prediction. But regardless, I get it. People are upset about Pixelmon. People are upset about some of the other overpriced mints that didn't go well. Well, we're not the same project, and we'd appreciate at least a fair look at what we've built, what the point of the mint is. And then, of course, let's not go ahead and point fingers where it's completely not factual that I have shipped this overseas and I just sort of sit back here to shill. That is not the case at all. This has been day in and day out work to work on a product that I believe matters. So what comes next? Well, I've poured my heart and soul into this project literally since 2018, even through the failed games, even through all of the setbacks. Now I'm more excited than ever with the biggest staff we've ever had. The gameplay will be something you see before the mint. The closed beta is scheduled. The Genesis...
I mean, you just say that it's decentralized. Why wouldn't it be shipped overseas? Why wouldn't you lie? You're just behind the computer. You don't even have an office. You don't see the people. You don't look them in their eyes. I assume most micromanaged people, which you are micromanaging, will punch you in the face if they see you in real life.
Roadmap is packed. And so we're going to have a conversation with the community to figure out the best path forward as people both inside and outside the community.
Exactly. So Pizza Heroes is basically rebranded as Imposters. You can keep coming back, Elio, and there will be new money and there will be a lot of people who will still fall into you. But at some point, karma will get you.
We're truly upset by the pricing. Again, the super coming in through whitelist was not for revenue, was not for operations. It was an effective buyback and vaulting of the super token. And the public mint was going from 3 ETH down to 0, literally 0. There was no resting price. So effectively, it could have left us with any variety of amount of revenue after the sale. But to conclude that we were running off with $60 million and it's a pure scam is super unfair. And it discounts all the hard work that these teams have done to get here, that I've done to get here. The reality is that we're on cloud 9 with such an amazing aesthetic and feel. I have some of the biggest gaming content creators in my DMs telling me they're hyped for this. And I know that with some love with this closed beta community, we can shape this into a game that holds and grows mainstream users.
I don't believe it's hard work, and I don't believe it's worth so many millions. Pizza Heroes was also not worth so many millions. And you don't even know what hard work is. Working in construction is hard work. Working an honest job is hard work. The people that work with your scam, they are doing hard work. You know nothing about hard work.
Now, is it guaranteed to happen? Absolutely not. Is this a sure bet? No, nothing in crypto is a sure bet. And certainly in NFTs, everything holds extreme risk.
So show me the DMs.
understand this stuff could go to zero. However, if you guys want to help create this next generation social gaming community, understanding that this Genesis season is meant to be premium, it's meant to be this wild seeding of the entire Imposters social gaming metaverse, the whole economy around it, and that there will be very cheap items.
Already a disclaimer, if it goes well, it's have fun staying poor. If it goes down, do your own research, and it's not that problem.
The future, your $50, $100 items, and even free items that people can come in without any crypto, without any NFTs, and play and earn. This is the future of the social gaming ecosystem, and we can't wait to get to work on it together with you. So what is the truth about Imposters? It has a lot of potential. I've worked very, very hard on it. I think the super community will absolutely love what we have cooked up for them, and it's going to be very exciting.
It's always future projections. It's also with the Neo Tokyo. Yes, it has done good a few months, and now it's going downhill because people know it's bullshit. People know there are so many overpromises and under-deliveries, and now there's delays as well. People cannot trust you, Elio. You can fool some people, but you cannot fool all people.
Roll out more and more details as we approach the mint date and beyond. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I hope this cleared up a lot of the questions and concerns that I saw on the timeline yesterday.
You don't even know what hard work is, Elio.
Importantly, we're going to be having a robust discussion around really mint price, go to market, and what the project is made of later today on my Twitter Spaces, so make sure you're there. As always, I'm Elio Trades. If you like the video, like the video. And I'll see you very soon on the next episode.
I don't know even what to say. I think Elio should keep playing Nintendo 64 as he has. I think he should find a real job. I think the SEC should come and put Elio in jail. I think YouTube should ban him. I think YouTube should ban him. So that's it. Stay safe. Don't fall into his traps. And you're an adult. I provided my information. As an adult, you are making your own choices.